Hi guys, it's B. I just want to talk to you about the books that I read in October. The first book that I finished was Fighting Ultra by Rich Roll, and it's basically a transformation story. Rich is an alcoholic, he has an addictive personality. He gives a brief background into his childhood and growing up, him going to college, getting a career, all the while through all these steps in life he's struggling with his alcoholism and just the downfalls and different things that he's going through, hitting rock bottom a few different times, and finally having a scare that leads him on the path to recovery. He ends up going to rehab, turning his life around. Things are all good. 40 something hits, and he has a health scare, which in turn completely changes his whole life. He goes vegan, he starts working out, which in turn leads to him becoming this crazy ultra athlete, accomplishing numerous Ironman competitions, the Epic 5, which him and his fellow ultra athlete friend put together, which is 5 Ironman competitions back to back for 5 days on 5 different islands of Hawaii. Just, the guy's awesome, absolutely amazing. If you have any love for swim, bike, run, or just biking or cycling or swimming, or just admiring people that can accomplish superhuman like physical activities, I highly recommend it. It's very encouraging. If you need a little push, something to inspire you as far as getting your health together or just eating right, I definitely recommend it. Of course, it has its downfalls. A lot of people, it comes across as like an arrogant brag book. To me, not all comeback stories have to start at the absolute horrible. To me, we each have our own struggles and everything's subjective. So just because he wasn't raised in like a war-torn country or in the middle of an impoverished city, to me it doesn't lessen the accomplishments and the different obstacles that he's overcome in his life to achieve the success that he has. I don't know, a lot of people find fault with, oh, he had a great support group the whole time, he had his family with him, he had bosses that supported him, things like that. Okay, that's life. Like, some people are dealt better hands than others, but it doesn't mean that they don't struggle just the same. You know what I mean? Like, I can see their point of view. Like, he had a support system. Some people don't have that and go on to do miraculous things. That's awesome. They're commendable as well. But I don't think it makes his accomplishments any less. I forgot to turn on my fairy lights. People also argue that he's just changing his addictive personality, taking it from one outlet to another. And you see that a lot. People that were previously addicts, they become like weightlifting fanatics or workout freaks or whatever. But there's a lot worse things that he could be channeling his energy into. So congratulations to him on getting sober and for turning his life around and living not only a healthy lifestyle now, but like an awe-inspiring one as well. So I definitely recommend it. I gave that one 5 stars. Next, I finished a book that was actually a rollover from a September group read, but I was lagging as usual. But The Heart's Invisible Furies, that I have been wanting to read for so long, finally finished this doorstop of a book. And you guys, how this was everywhere last year, the beginning of the year, whatever, how it was everywhere for so long and everyone was raving about it, saying it's one of the best books ever, blah, 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 blah. It is indeed a very good book. I enjoyed it a lot. It's a story of Sybil Avery, and I can't even say it's coming of age because it really follows a little bit before his birth through his like elder years. So it follows like 70 years of his life. He's born to a young mother out of wedlock. He's given up for adoption. The story really picks up in the 40s, following him as a young adopted boy, adopted by not the most loving parents, might I add, which totally affects him, of course, as it would anyone. So he follows Cyril through his school years, meeting his best friend for life, basically at a young age. All the coincidence and happenstance that occurs in his life. Sorry, there's a siren. Through his life, the trials and tribulations of being this young man in Ireland during the time that he is. I don't want to give too much away, But it's a great book, you guys, and even though it is as huge as it is, it's so well written, and the pace of the book, it reads so fast. You guys know me, I'm not a speed demon when it comes to reading, but seriously, like, this is such a fast, quick read, and whereas there's a lot of ups and downs, and heartache, there are so many times where you'll chuckle or laugh out loud. Very endearing, very, very well written. Highly recommend it. I gave this one a solid 4 stars. Speaking of not being the fastest reader, I recently got Spreeder? I forget the name of the app. I'll put the name here. A speed reading app to help me get faster with reading because my TBR continuously grows and it's growing faster than I'm knocking things off of that list, which I'm sure a lot of you can relate to. So the first book that I finished on that, keeping with the October theme, was The Legend of Sleepy Hollow by Washington Irving. Oh, guys, I swear I've read this before, like a long time ago. I can't remember for sure though. But I absolutely loved this cartoon when I was a kid and would watch it every single year around Halloween season. Oh my god. Ichabod Crane, the Headless Horseman, the awesome horse, ghosts, haunting. I love it. I absolutely love it, like so good. So you guys, this is an old classic from like legends and lore long ago, like 1700s. So Headless Horsemen were omens of bad things to come if people saw or ran into them. That's how the lore goes from back in the day. A lot of description about the place and the people, and the main character Ichabod Crane and the girl that he loves and how he's trying to woo her and his job and this and that, and just very little of the actual spirit ghost thing that is the Headless Horseman, but nevertheless it's so good. And it's not as scary, spooky, creepy, horrific as things that we're used to in modern times, but if you have a good imagination, it's still a solidly creepy read. Definitely recommend it. Gave it 4 stars. A book that I have wanted to read forever and I'm so glad that I finally got around to it. Heart-Shaped Box by Jill Hill. You guys, believe the hype. Definitely believe the hype. So good. So good. Like, seriously, so good. And I'm glad I waited and the hype is kind of like died down, blah, blah, whatever. But it's the story of a jaded rock star who thinks he's like super cool, like hot or whatever. He's obsessed with things that are like gory and horror, the macabre, things like that, right? So he purchases a dead man's suit online, but not just a dead man's suit. It is explained that the suit comes with a ghost. So of course, being Mr. Collector of creepy-ish, he has to buy it, and he does. Turns out, it's true. He's haunted by the ghost of the man that the suit belonged to. So basically, he's trying to fight for survival, fighting for his life, as well as protect those around him, because one of the stipulations is no one can help you survive, and if they try to, they will be killed. So he's trying to protect himself and his loved ones and to figure out how to escape this haunting, destroy, get rid of the ghost. So good. Seriously, so good, you guys. Like, definitely recommend it. Gave it 4 stars, but it's totally like 4.5 stars if you haven't read it. And if you're into like horror, creepy, thriller type things, I definitely recommend it. It's so good. I can't say it enough. And last, a graphic novel that I've been stoked about since before its release last year. I was reading something on Image Comics and it described this one and I knew I had to have it before it came out. Was super excited. I finally treated myself to finally reading it. I've had it for what seems like forever. Got around to it. Moonshine. It's set in Prohibition times and there is a city slicker, New Yorker, Lou Perlo, who is a gangster, whose boss sends him to the Appalachian backwoods to deal with the best moonshiner that there is to make some sort of deal so they can get the hooch to New York to supply to their customers and clients, right? Right. So Lou thinks he's a slay slicker, gonna go talk to the country bumpkins, flash them some cash. Bada bing, bada bang, it's gonna be all good, simple and easy peasy. Back to New York he goes, and oh my gosh, he couldn't be more wrong. Little does he know that Mr. Hiram Holtz is not trying to give up the secret of his world-class moonshine, you guys, nor of a pretty huge, crazy family secret that he has. Dun, dun, dun. I'm sure, as you can imagine, action ensues, drama, things, stuff and things. Glad I finally read it. Enjoyed it. I ended up giving it 3 stars, and that is just because I do not like the portrayal of how African American people are drawn in this book. And I know that sounds crazy, and that is not like a product of the times that we are living in now, things in the past. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's kind of rubbing me the wrong way. So I would have given this 4 stars, but I'm giving it 3 because he doesn't shine a great, beautiful light on the backwoods country white people either. But they don't look as stereotypical, like, race caricatures as the black people drawn in the book do. So I don't know if I'm bugging. If anybody's read this, like, let me know what you think. Just like, I could have done without that. Like, I don't know. If you have a feeling, it's usually for a reason. So yeah, so that was a little disappointing, but other than that, I like the story and I am curious to see how it goes. I don't know if I'm gonna finish it though. Okay, if you consider it a spoiler seeing any of the images, then okay, fast forward or click out now. Okay guys, so see, here we have hillbilly chick he thinks is hot or whatever. Okay, so you see them. And then here we have the country black people. The chick is not as bad. I'm not talking about the like shadow and like all that, but their actual like features. I don't know. It's a bit much to me. I don't know. It just kind of bugs me. There's a way to like get across everything, and this is just like, I don't know. I'm feeling some type of way. I'm not gonna lie. So, yeah. That's what I read in October. Not as much as I wanted, but I am still happy with that progress. I knocked out a couple of stragglers left over from September. And I even got in a couple, well actually like a few creepy reads. So that's it. How'd you guys do last month? Was it everything you hoped for? October definitely wasn't my best reading month at all by any means. But like I said, glad that I did it. Glad that I'm here talking to you guys about it. That's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.